To your yoga practice. Today's practice is just a nice gentle practice. We're going to stay mostly on our mat, so before we start just make sure that you're comfortable. So you can see I'm sitting on a cushion. If you're going to use a cushion, just have something, depending on how tight your hips are, you'll want a cushion. The tighter your hips, the bigger your cushion should be, or the higher it should be. So when you sit on your cushion, you see, don't sit right on it, or else your spine will just slump like that. You want to sit your tailbone just on the edge of it, so you're tilting your pelvis slightly, and that'll keep the spine nice and long, so you can relax the shoulders and relax your knees. Like so. Okay. So we're going to start with some pranayama. I think that's a really nice thing to start a class with, and I think at the moment everybody's a bit stressed, and we need to remember to breathe deeply to release our stress and just let go of all the anxiety surrounding us at this present time, because it is anxious times. I hope everybody that's watching, I hope all you and indeed all your loved ones are well. So just before you get started, make sure you've got your cushion, that you're comfortable, that you're warm enough. You might want to have a blanket to drape around your shoulders for the first few minutes. That can help with the sensation of going inwards. Later on in the practice, if you have a belt, then please use a belt. You can use any kind of belt. It doesn't have to be a yoga belt. You can use like the belt of your dressing gown, or a normal belt that holds up your trousers, or a pair of socks. Do just the same as well. Alright, so let's take a moment to go inwards. Let's close our eyes, or just lower the gaze to the floor. Whatever feels most natural to you. And take a nice deep breath in. And exhale out. Relax your abdomen as you inhale. Nice long deep breath in. Full deep exhale out, drawing the belly back towards the spine. Relax the abdomen. Inhale. And exhaling, pulling the belly in. That will help squeeze any stale air out the lungs. Exhaling fully and deeply. See if you can pause at the bottom of that breath before you inhale again. Then relaxing the abdomen. Inhale. Exhale. So ideally in and out through the nose. You just saw me breathing in and out through my mouth. That's okay as well. If your nose is blocked at all, in and out through the mouth is absolutely fine as well. But the nose acts as a natural filter, and that also I think breathing in and out through the nose can just help keep the breath slow. Alright, so in your next exhale, I'm going to dip the chin down towards the chest and just like this, rock the head from side to side. If it feels okay in your neck, we'll take the chin round in a circle. Be careful not to crunch in at the back of the neck, so keep that reasonably long, although we're lifting the chin. Don't lift it so high that you're crunching in at the back of the neck. That'll just add to any stress you might be feeling here. We always like to start the classes nice and gently, releasing tension through the neck and the shoulders. And this is just a gentle class. You could do this first thing in the morning. You could do it last thing at night, or any time where you just need half an hour to de-stress. Going the other way now. And then bringing the head back to centre. Just see how your neck feels. And we'll drop the ear over to the left. And bring the hand up and over, placing it on the right ear, and just allow the weight of the hand to extend through the neck. So that scratching noise you can hear, that's my cat Charlie trying to get in. If I don't let him in, the scratching will continue. Then you come, Charles. Here he is. So Charles is a rescue cat. He reels the roost. Any of you with a cat will know that's what happens. And he wants out again. Alright, ear to the other side. So you're hopefully feeling a nice length through that neck with the other arm up and over. And if you want to take that hand away, extending through the length in the neck. A couple of nice long breaths here. Again, you can keep the eyes closed here if that feels good. And release, inhale, up and over. Let's bring the hands behind. Clasp the fingers, push the clasp away, opening through the chest. If you want to extend that stretch, take the weight forward, lift the hands away from the hips. Keep the gaze towards the floor here. The back of the neck stays low. Inhale up. Release, inhale. The arms up. Clasp the fingers. Back to the hands. Towards the ceiling now. Press the clasp up. Have a little sway from side to side. Easing out through the base. Keep the sit bones on the floor or on your cushion. And release the hands down. See how your shoulders feel. Mine are feeling better already. Did a lot of gardening yesterday, so shoulders a bit tight. Inhale the arms up. Squeeze them back and down. And release the arms to the floor. Inhaling. Lifting the elbows. Release them back down. Good, inhale. Nice long deep breath. Exhale. Squeeze them back. One more time. Lift them up. High as they go. And release them back down. And just let the arms relax. Okay, let's inhale. One arm up. Drop the hand down between the shoulder blades. So this is where you might need your belt. So we're going to bring the other hand behind and clasp fingers. So you might be able to clasp fingers easily enough here. If you can, take the belt in the hand that you're lifting, drop the elbow down and reach behind, holding onto the belt. Okay. And just have a little shake of the head from side to side here. Make sure you've got room through the neck, keeping the chest nice and open. You can draw that arm down a little closer. Again, make sure it doesn't add any tension to your neck. Again, a few deep breaths here. Keep pressing that shoulder back and open. Alright, other side. So I know I definitely need a belt on this side. I'm going to lift my arm with the belt in it. Release the hand down between your shoulder blades. And release the arm back and round. Again, reaching for the belt or your fingertips. So if your hands don't reach the belt, it's quite good because you can adjust through it. You can walk your hands up and down it. Again, just make sure you're not extending through that neck, craning the neck at all. Your chest nice and open, shoulders should be relaxed. Keep pressing that elbow up and back. Scratching to get out again now. used to having a closed door policy in our house. And release it down. Good, okay. Bring one arm across the chest, place the hand onto the back of the arm and gently press the arm towards the chest. If you need a deeper stretch, you can lock it in with your elbow. My shoulders are so tight from gardening yesterday. So if your shoulders are tight from sitting at a desk, if you've been working from home, I think that makes a big difference as well. My work has changed, although I'm out going into the practice to work. Swap hands here. I'm sitting at a desk a lot more, answering the phones. It's very stressful. It's so stressful. Hats off to you people that do desk work all the time. It's definitely not for me. I'm very grateful to have a job, obviously. And release. So now let's just release through the wrists. A few circles each way. Circling them back and forth. Okay, so we're going to take ourselves, I'm going to turn slightly more side on so you can see better. We're going to come into Dandasana. Again, keep your cushion just under your hip, your tailbone. Just to tilt the tailbone slightly, might make it look more comfortable if your hamstrings are tight. Alright, so we're turning the toes up towards the ceiling, keeping the back nice and long, engaging the front of the legs. This allows the hamstrings to release a little more. Sitting up nice and tall, drawing in the belly, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Big breath. Fold forward. So if your hamstrings are tight, if you have also been doing a lot of gardening, or a lot of exercise, a lot of people doing a lot more running and stuff now, they can have the time to inhale up. Exhale. You might find your hamstrings pretty tight. Then let's try the other door. Charlie, you're an absolute pain in the bum. Okay, let's inhale this time. Reach all the way up. And exhale. Chest to thighs. So just bend the knees slightly here as you need to. Reach for the toes or let the hands relax on the mat or the legs. And breathe. And release up. Okay, I'm going to let this most annoying cat out. Normally he's the one that's allowed to stay in because he's well behaved, but not today. Shoo. The dog's been locked out already. Alright, so we're keeping one leg in front of us nice and tall, and we're going to drop this foot to the side. So the foot to the inside of the thigh if you can. It's just on the very edges of your cushion or take it away completely. Alright, inhale. Reach up, long spine, exhale, fold forward. Again, we're just allowing the hands to come to wherever they reach. That might be on your foot, it might be on the floor, on your thigh, wherever you find the best stretch. Without straining, your body working, but not straining. And then breathe there. Keep the spine nice and long. One more breath. And inhale. Come back up. Okay, we're going to turn this foot flat on. Inhale up. And again, we're reaching forward. We're going to try for the clasp here. So, if you can, you're bringing the hand to the inside of the leg, wrapping it round the knee. So the back of the hand is to the outside of the leg. Reach the other hand behind. Clasp the fingers. I'm just going to come to face you so you can see that again. Face on. My big toes. Inhale up. So reach forward to the inside of the bent leg. Bend the elbow round the knee. Reach with the other hand. See if you can clasp the fingers. If you can't clasp the fingers but you're not that far away, you can use the belt. Easier said than done. Easier if you get somebody to help you. Or you can just leave the stretch here. Inhale. Let's swap sides. Let's not swap sides. Okay, so I'm going to come back to where I was. On the clasp. So we're going to then take this leg over. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to twist towards this front leg. Bring one arm round to wrap it. Take your back hand, inhale up and over, opening through the shoulder, fingertips to the floor behind. Gaze over the back shoulder. And have a few long breaths here. Seated twist. And this is not a twist you can do if you're pregnant. You need to twist the other way, away from the bent leg. And inhale, back to centre. Alright, so we release that. We're going to do half hero pose. So have your cushion handy, but have it on the other side of the leg you're working. We're going to take the knee behind this time. So the knees are facing forward. And the heel comes to rest alongside your hip. If you feel a little skewy, just pop your cushion under your hip so that you become a bit more upright. So you become a bit more upright. So we're going to work into that twist first of all. We're keeping these toes upright. Again, hinging from the hips, nice long spine. I'm going to walk the fingers forward. So they might not come very far forward here. See how that feels. I find it quite strong here on the outside of the leg, around my IT bands. So you might feel it there as well. You might feel it somewhere else. Through the hips maybe. Again, breathing into it. So bringing your focus into anywhere that's uncomfortable. And then we'll take them back. So this, again, be careful of your knee in this pose. We're going to take the hands behind us, keeping the chest open. We're going to lower down. And pause here. A strong stretch through the front of that leg. Just keep the chin down towards the chest, the back of the neck along here. I see people doing that a lot, but let's just keep the chest lifted. Pressing into the elbows, keeping the chest lifted. Good inhale, come up. Release it. Give that leg a little shake. Just notice that it now looks about 2 inches longer than your other leg. And you turn to face you for this side. Okay, so let's bend the other knee in against the thigh. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold towards the bent leg, reaching for the toes. And pause here. And when you're ready, inhale, come up. We're going to bring the flat of the foot onto the floor. So we'll reach for the clasp again if you can. And if you can't, don't worry. Alright, so inhale, fold forward. Bring the hands towards the toes. So we're going to slide the hand next to the knee, to the inside of the knee, reach it forward, bend it round the outside of that knee. Reach the other hand behind, clasp the fingers. Pause and breathe here. And release. And come up. Alright, so we're twisting towards this bent leg, so cross it over the knee. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, turn towards your bent leg. Keep the spine nice and long here. We're wrapping the front knee with the elbow, and that'll help just to draw the leg a little more to midline. Swipe the arm up and over. Inhale and round. Fingertips to the floor behind. Gazing over the back shoulder. And keep the back of your neck long. Inhale to add a little length. Exhale to twist a little deeper. More breath here. Inhale in full length. And exhaling as you come forward. Okay, we're going to bring the knee behind this time. Again, reach for your cushion. If you feel a little bit ski-whiff on one side, slide the hip under there, your knees facing forward. Again, inhale. Nice long length through the spine. Exhale. Walk the fingers forward. Breathe in here, feel that tightness. Any pain in this knee, come out, okay? This is a good stretch for the knee. It's a great stretch for the leg. It's great for particularly the muscles at the front of the leg. You don't want to tolerate any pain in the knee here. Alright, one more breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Take it back. If you can, come onto the elbows. If this is really comfortable, you can lie all the way down. If your headband falls up, that might be an issue. But for most of you, coming onto the elbows will be long enough. We'll just tuck the chin in again to keep the back of the neck long rather than sinking into the pose here. Just feeling that stretch. And inhale. Come up. Good. Oh, let's move that cushion away. Let's release the legs, returning back towards the front of the mat. Take the legs nice and wide. Again, keep the toes turned up. That just helps stretch those hamstrings. I'm going to walk the weight forward slightly here. And again, don't walk so far that you suddenly feel that you'll not be able to ever walk again. Just till you feel a nice stretch through the inside of the legs. This class is really just aiming at stretching out all the major muscle groups. Might be getting tight and tense if you're missing your normal yoga classes. Alright, good. Let's draw the knees into the chest. We're going to lie back. The knees into the chest. Give them a hug. Have a little rock from side to side. There goes the hairband again. Okay, and then hands on the knees, and let's just work into the sacrum. Sacral circles. So we're rolling the knees away from us, over to the side, and then back. And then let's take them the other way. Good, and then knees into the chest. We're going to open the legs so the knees come as wide as the shoulders. Okay, then we're going to turn the feet up towards the ceiling. For those of you who have done yoga before, you know this pose is called Happy Baby. So you can hold on here behind the legs. If you've got a little more flexibility, you can bring the hands, maybe hold on to the big toes or holding on to the inside edges of the feet. It's a good hip opener, this pose, but nice and passive. The weight of the arms helps to open the hips. Have a little rock if you like from side to side. That'll help. Massage the spine, let those hips open. Happy baby. release the feet. We'll bring the knees back in. We're going to stretch one leg away. Note to self. Move further back in the mat for this one. So we're keeping one leg in the chest, against the chest. Let's say it's your right leg. So the other foot can be extended if you can. Add a little challenge. Have the leg hovering above the floor. And let's circle through that top ankle. And the other way. Okay, let the leg relax. Place your hand on the thigh, the other hand is grounding the hip into the floor, and we'll just let the hip open out to the side. Opening up through the hip. And bring the knee back to centre, take it all the way across the body onto the floor, and bring your hands and your gaze to the other side, a spinal twist. And roll it back to centre. Stretch the leg up to the ceiling. You flex through that foot again. If your hamstrings are tight, you'll feel it. And then lower it nice and slowly down towards the floor, giving up in the hairband there. Alright, bring the other knee in, hug round that knee. And you can let this leg hover, pointing both toes, and circle here. And the other way. And then open this leg out to the side. Bring the other hand on the hip to ground it to the floor so this hip doesn't lift off. And then back to centre, take it all the way across the body. So you can have one arm, arms out in a T, or you can have both arms and your gaze over to the side. Whatever works. As long as you're feeling, you hopefully feel a nice twist through the spine. Twists are great for strengthening the spine, working the digestion. And then back to centre. Stretch that leg up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Flex those toes and slowly lower all the way down. Nice one. Inhale the arms up. Open through the chest, stretch all the way from the fingers to the toes. And exhale, bring the hands back down by the sides. We're keeping the toes pointed here. Coming into Matsyasana or fish pose. We're going to come up. I'll show you first. We're coming onto the elbows. This is a good stretch for through the throat and the front of the chest. If you get any neck problems, I would avoid this pose. Since we inhale, or just keep the back of the neck long. Yeah, I'll show you both versions. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the chest up, keeping the elbows in under the shoulders. Exhaling. So if your neck's sore at all, keep the chin tucked towards the chest like this. The full version of the pose, we're allowing the jaw, back of the head, the crown of the head to come down onto the floor. And to come out, just slide the head out and let the body come to rest on the floor. Just gently rock the head from side to side here, easing out any tension in that neck. And then a little counter pose, bring the knees into the chest, give them a hug, lift the chin, tuck it in, and then let it relax as you rock from side to side. Coming back to centre, we're going to lift the legs, bring the hands behind the thighs, and have a few rocks vertically, up and down, up and down. the legs over as high as you can. For coming all the way up. And then if your knees are good, if your knees and your hips are feeling good, or maybe you've never tried this before and you'd like to try it now, what we're going to do is lean the body weight forward, bring the weight onto the hands, and roll over onto hands and knees. I'll just slide myself back a little onto my mat. I'm going to ask you to take the knees together for this version of child's pose. We're going to take the hips back to the heels, long chest, arms stretched away, and then just rest the forehead so you can see. Bring the forehead and the arms back alongside the feet and just allow the shoulders to drape down towards the floor. And as you breathe in here, breathe really deeply into the very back of your lungs. As though you're flaring your wings. And then stretch the hands forward. And inhale, come back onto hands and knees. Okay. Let's just pause for a moment, see how you're feeling. Hopefully still feeling good. Still looking good anyway. Alright, so we're going to do some cat-cow and then camel pose and then we'll come up to standing. So, we all know what cat-cow is. I think from now on, let's just bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under hips, nice tabletop position. And as you inhale, lift the chest. So I would say lift the tailbone, but if you've got any issues with low spine, keep the tailbone flat and just think about lifting the chest through the arms, bringing the weight forward slightly. As you exhale, tuck the hips under, arch the spine. So you think that undulating movement coming from the hips up through the spine, drop in the chin, take the hips back towards the heels. Oh, lovely. Anybody with a sore back, this should be your go-to movement night and day. Inhale, lift the chest, maybe the tailbone, lifting. Again, if you lift in the chin, don't lift it so high that you crunch the back of the neck. Exhale, taking it back. Inhale, soften through those shoulders, lift up. Exhale, drop the head, arch the spine, take it back. Maybe all the way back this time. Send the hands a little handprint further away. And as you inhale, come forward, lifting the chest. As you exhale, take the hips all the way back to the heels. This is the same cat-cow with movement. And how much movement you want to add is up to you. So you can roll over if that feels nice, coming into a high cobra here. Put a little more pressure here on the low spine. So if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. And as you exhale, take the hips all the way back to the heels. Inhale, come forward. And exhale. Take it all the way back. We'll do this one more time. And last time. Again, just as big or as small feels good for you. Inhale. If you are here, watch these shoulders, don't end up around here, keep them back and down. Exhale, hips back to heels. We're not pausing here, sorry, we'll be here again soon enough, don't worry. Inhale, come back up. Alright, I'm just going to ask you to tuck your toes under. Hopefully you can see that okay. We're just going to sit back on the toes to stretch through the fronts of the feet. So not a stretch you probably do very often. If you wear high heels a lot for work, you may be enjoying not wearing them at the moment, and certainly this can feel really strong. So if it feels too strong, you can keep your weight here and just practice tucking the toes under. You know, we're just adding flexibility to the feet. Hopefully if you're working at home, you've not got your socks on as well. Alright, inhale, come up. So we're just going to release the toes for now. So we're going to come into half camel pose. We're going to inhale the arms up. And exhale, open through the chest. Bring the fingertips down, face down towards the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Take the weight back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. And keep the chin tucked. If you're feeling too much pressure here, inhale. And exhale, opening the chest. Counter pose will be child's pose. So back onto the hands and knees. Take the knees as wide as the mat this time. Sit the hips back towards the heels. Stretch the chest through. Spread the fingers wide on the mat. And just release the cheek. One cheek onto the floor. Keep the tailbone reaching towards those heels. Nice long spine. Hopefully enjoying that stretch through the spine. On your next inhale, just turn the other cheek. And again, a few deep breaths here. Releasing. Keeping everything nice and relaxed. Okay, on your next inhale, come back to centre. And come back up. Alright, we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to lift the hips into downward facing dog. And we'll have a forward fold and a side stretch. And then that will have to do this. Alright. So, knees under hips, hands as wide as the mat, fingers wide, tuck the toes. Let's remember how to come into downward facing dog. Let's lift the knees first. Send the chest back towards the thighs. Uncurl the hips, keep the spine long, drop the head. And then just pedal through the heels one at a time. Adjust your feet, make sure they're hip width apart. You might need to take them slightly wider. Reach the heels down towards the floor. Don't worry if they don't get there. Soften through your elbows. So don't try and create as much space as you can for your head. Have a little shake of that head from side to side. Softening the elbows. Long spine. Press both heels down at once. Oh, feel your hamstrings protesting. Inhale, push up on the toes, bring the weight forward into high plank. Exhale, find that length, send the hips up and back. Drop the heels again. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the feet. Pause here in your forward fold. Dropping the head again. We'll shake the head from side to side. Keeping the back of the neck long. And then bend into the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Clasp the hands, take hold of opposite hands, have a little sway from side to side. Big inhale, draw the hands back down. Bring your hands to